just to be the one you can trust. I feel so useless 'cause I let you down. I hope there's some way I can make it alright, 'cause I know that you deserve much more than this. If you give me one more chance, I swear I'll try my best to always be there. And I want you to know that I'm lost without you. I'm not without you. I hope I can show what you mean to me, 'cause I don't know what to do if you go. I just don't know what to do if you go. Walk with me. Let's leave the past behind. Walk with me. There's something else we need to find. Say you'll go, don't make me wait. There's no need to hesitate. Let's make footprints in sand. Let's make miracles. Come hold my hand. Let's find something new, me and you. Blue is the sky, like the color of your eyes. Blue is your heart. It's been like that from the start. Say you'll stay till the morning light. I'll help you through the fight. Let's make footprints in the sand. Let's make miracles. Come hold my hand. Let's find something new,
sorry I let you down. I said some things that I never should have said, and I know I hurt you. But I've been somewhere else. I closed my eyes and all I ever saw was her, and my head was burning. And it's not okay, it's not alright, but I can't take it back. I just tried to feel something I only felt when we started drinking. I know it isn't fair, 'cause I've been selfish and I wasn't thinking, 'cause I still loved someone else. I just tried to feel something that wasn't there, no, 'cause you were never mine, I was never yours. I'm so sick of hiding it. My heart's not in it, and I don't think it's ever been.